First of all, let's start with the key drivers of the third quarter in particular. Just give us a story behind what we've seen in terms of the sustained improvement in profit and, of course, the top line, which is growing quite strongly.
Yes, the top line is driven largely, of course, by gross premium income from institutional business and, of course, retail business, which are the two major parts of our underwriting business in Guaranty Trust Assurance. Institutional business grew their own premium incomes by about 34%, while retail in the sterling performance grew by 50%.
And that's really driven by this new retail strategy, which you have, I think it's about 2 years old now, if you like.
Well, really, bank assurance in itself started with Guaranty Trust Assurance in 2007. But, of course, it matured fully about 2 years ago, and they have been profitable since 2010. They've been delivering profits, but of course newly is the agency business, which has grown 100% as at September. So that's really where we're opening more outlets. We're trying to increase our distribution channels and of course leveraging on online retail sales too, which has just been launched recently in September. And
of course, the big news surrounding GT Assurance recently is the sale of the divestment of Guaranty Trust Bank's stake in your company. They're selling to Assure Africa Holdings. $76 million is what it's worth, but we'll come back to that in a minute. First of all, let's talk about how the financial markets, should I say, volatility is impacting your business. A lot of people are talking about bonds and people taking mark-to-market losses. And of course, the stock market hasn't been doing well. It's down about 17%. How are you investing in this environment?
I believe it's just having a well-balanced portfolio, really. I mean, we had exited the stock market in terms of equity markets earlier in the year when prices started going down. So we don't have a major exposure there. However, we still do have some stocks, in bellwether stocks really, who have strong fundamentals. We believe they're just being impacted by the environment, and we're definitely sure that once the market starts turning around, they will be the first to feel that impact. So we still do have some, but they're definitely strong stocks. Generally, money markets, treasury bills are more of where we are, but we're investing for the long term. We also have an investment portfolio in property. So that in itself, it's the future. Property really, even though seems to have some level of volatility in the past, but it definitely is looking up. We still have a huge gap in terms of housing units, and in Nigeria, we don't have enough housing units for people here. So any property investments that could deliver some solution to this gap will definitely be a good investment vehicle. All right,
obviously. Let's take a look at this deal. Africa Insurance Holding buying 67% of your company right now. The big question now is, post GTB's association with your company, where do we go from here? What's the business approach going forward with the new owners?
If I'm correct, it's Assure Africa Holdings, actually.
Assure Africa Holdings,
yes.
Right.
Exactly. Our strategy has always been to be the biggest insurance company in the financial service provider really in Nigeria. And the purchase of the shares from Guaranty Trust Bank by Assure Africa Holdings would only just take this to the next level. Guaranty Trust Bank, sterling performance, is very successful insurance bank in Nigeria, has actually helped us grow that foundation, where we've moved from about 97th position out of 101 insurance companies just about 7 years ago, to 5th position, very strong 5th position now. They've actually set that foundation. And what will happen next is that the international exposure and affiliations that we will have with the new investors will only just take us further. This will drive the growth and still deliver exceptional value to shareholders.
But you still remain associated with GTB in some sense, more so with your bank assurance, am I right?
Yes, with bank assurance, we have signed a multi-year agreement with GT Bank to still run our bank assurance operations in their branches. But we've also then added another relationship with FCMB, First City Monument Bank, and we've started with about 20 branches there also.
So overall, looking forward for the fourth quarter, we know obviously, like I mentioned, it's very volatile financial market right now with where the stock market is, and of course interest rates rising almost every day, if you like. What should we expect in the fourth quarter?
Fourth quarter tends to be a bit stronger in terms of underwriting income for insurance companies because we do write 12-month contracts really. So what you will see is we will definitely deliver a better result than the comparable period next year, and the sterling performance as usual for.
And in 10 seconds, your thoughts on consolidation in the insurance sector. So many people say it's inevitable.
Definitely, it is inevitable. We still have so many insurance companies, but you will probably see some change coming up in the next few years or so with IFRS, with the changes, with the market development restructuring initiative. You will see a lot of change, and there's still huge growth in the insurance industry that we definitely will benefit from.